Alright, hello again. Today I'm going to talk a bit more about the problem of evil and answers to that question. But before then, I'll have a little bit of an autobiographical ramble. You know, where I kind of take myself outside of myself and look at my kind of history and try and explain myself, or this particular manifestation of what is. To understand a lot of my life, you've got to realise I'm curious. I don't know why, I don't know how I got it. I've just always been curious. I remember reading books, like science books, and they would talk about how everything's made up out of atoms that were made up out of protons, neutrons and electrons. And the thought would come to my head is like, how does that world, you know, get to be our world? I was fascinated by that. And this would go into this curiosity would go into all areas of my life, right? So I was curious about addiction. It baffled me. I was like, what is it, like the kind of craving for a cake or something like that? So I thought, in order to know about addiction, I've got to get addicted to something. So I chose cigarettes. They seemed the most kind of harmless option. Heroin would probably be quite a pleasant kind of experience, but in terms of what it does to you and how hard it is to get off, it's a stupid option to run the experiment to satisfy the curiosity of what addiction is. I'm assuming heroin's like opium, and back in my more druggy explorer days, and that's what, I mean, curiosity drove most of my drug use, apart from the times I tried to save myself. I tried opium, so I'm assuming heroin's just like that, but more. And to be fair, if you're doing those drugs out of curiosity, once curiosity is satisfied, they kind of fall away. And yeah, you might go out to a festival or to a club. You might have the odd kind of blowout occasion where you do them because they're fun, and then you go away and you do other things that are fun. It's when people kind of go into these things seeking to escape something. You know, they hate themselves, they hate their life, they want oblivion, sweet, sweet oblivion, so that they forget how miserable they are. And then it becomes this like feedback loop where the drug use causes their life to be more miserable, which causes them to take more drugs, and so on and so on and so on. It becomes a self-perpetuating, a vicious circle. So yeah, that drove my curiosity there. I mean, especially to do with psychedelics. I remember reading those anti-drug pamphlets, and it would give descriptions of magic mushrooms and LSD, and I'd be like, wow, that's interesting. I want to give that a go. So I gave it a go, and it was fun. Yeah, it's fun. But it's not something to do continually. And then this curiosity went into music as well. I was curious about how kind of plastic we are, how capable we are of being modified. So me being a human being, I've got the perfect laboratory. So at school, I remember listening to genres of music and music that I didn't like, again and again and again, to see if I could like it. And guess what? I found out I could. Now then, you could apply that. Now then, in terms of like Pretty Woman as well, I thought, you know, me being a white sexual little fiend, thought, you know, if I could just like any shape or form of woman, then it would be easier for me to get my wicked way. So I experimented with that too. And sure enough, I found the same result. You watch a load of BBW porn and you start getting boners over BBWs. You know, any genre, anything. Our plasticity is so. It's crazy how plastic we are, how brainwashable we are. I even tried to become a homosexual. Yes, I have had a dick in my ass. To rescue my ego here, to catch back a bit of masculinity from that statement. The guy who did it said I took it like a champ. I took cock like a champ. In your face, all you girls that won't do it. No, I'm not joking about that, it's true. But I found out that it's like I couldn't. I think it could be the social conditioning was too strong, and I couldn't become a homosexual. I couldn't happily kind of cavort with blokes. And now I don't really try. I'm not really curious about that anymore. I'm quite happy with where I am. A lot of that experimentation came from a kind of miserable kind of outlook on who I am and where I am. Whereas now I'm quite satisfied, really. I like that I like girls, I like who I am. So there's no real need to change myself drastically. I just want to get what's inside me out. And that's what I'm doing. Furthermore coming. Goodbye.